In the most ancient of times, the Knolls ruled all of Bulwar and stretched as far north as the proto-empire of Anbennar. Only through the actions of Daravan the Magnificent was the region of Dostnor flooded, and the Gnollish advance halted. His actions gained the region the name of Daravan's Folly, for the foolish empire thought that the Knolls couldn't dare beat their armies, and so they shunned his actions. In modern times, more Knolls have migrated from Sarhal into the mountains of Bulwar in order to prey on the helpless humans with their neglectful elven overlords. Yet because of the selfish, narcissistic nature of Knolls, they have been little more than organized packs of bandits, never managing to hold a centralized state. That is, until the rise of Queen Tluukt. She slew the Lord of Zansnap, with some say, demonic magic. The remaining Gnoll packs around the peaks of Sadsur soon submitted to her rule. Thus, this brings us to today, the 11th day of the 11th month in 1444. The Knolls, having known independent banditry for a millennia, are reluctant to follow their demonic Gnoll Queen into battle, but when they do, carnage ensues. This is the story of the clan of Tluukt and its rise to become the greatest Gnoll power the world of Anbennar has ever seen. Let the rule of Tluukt begin. Hello and welcome everyone to the start of the Tluukt campaign with me, Gnoll Pete, where we are going to become the greatest Knolls that have ever knolled and Norbed. Tluukt is a fairly interesting start where you have many viable routes of expansion. But before we get into that, we have to note, as I said in the intro, just how powerful our Queen Tluukt is, for whom our nation is named after. She gives us access to five really critical things. Morale of armies, which is huge here in the early game. Attrition for enemies, which is insane if you defend in the mountains. Fort defense, that's just a good thing, even though you have a total of one whole fort at the beginning of the game. Monthly reform progress, that's very important, because getting out of this government type, even though it is decent with its national mind power and land force limit, is quite important. It also gives the benefit of land attrition, so make use of that where you can. And finally, it gives us 2 Diplo rep relation slots, which is quite important because at the moment we have 2 as a monstrous nation. And with that, let's get started. So, there are 3 potential routes you can go. You can either go east, west, or south. Of all of these routes, and the one the mission tree suggests, is to go west. And that's because, for a couple reasons. One, you've got quite a bit of fractured nations over here, as opposed to the big Jadari and the Gnollish to your south. The other reason is because your home node is in Rasan, and you ideally would like to either get control of Mother Sorrow or Bahar as an upstream node. You can focus on the downstream part at any time later on. Furthermore, and the main reason I'll be heading over here first, is because it has a human culture, which at first doesn't seem like a good thing. Why would I want a non-accepted culture and a non-accepted religion? Well, the reason why is because the Knolls are in fact the best nation culture group in Anbennar at trade and production. Like, by and far, they beat the dwarves, hands down. This is because they get an extra plus 10% production efficiency through their administration, and I hear you saying, so what? Well, it gets even more insane. Through their estates, they get the ability to produce 40% goods in non-Gnollish provinces, which, if I remind you, is basically all of this land you can make an extra 40% goods in. Which, when that propagates through the trade nodes, is absolutely absurd. But wait, there's more. You get an extra 10% through your religion mechanics. You have the ability to go for 10% goods produced, giving you a total of 50%. But there's even more than that. If you can somehow get Knolls to go into your human provinces, you can get the Gnollish minorities, which give up to 10% goods produced, giving you a grand total of 60% extra goods. Like, you can imagine what would happen if you were able to get that in a dwarfold. It's just absurd. Now, if that doesn't make you want to play Knolls, furthermore, we have access to the Gnollish military. And I will go ahead and get started with our opening moves here while I talk through that. Opening moves I would recommend. Sometimes you'll get generations where Gnollish has you rivaled. That's perfectly fine. So long as you can ally another monstrous nation. I would suggest either going for Harpyolin or Marblehead. Either one is a pretty good choice. And the reason you want to start improving with Drollokand is because the mission tree dictates it. No, because as Knolls, one of your few downsides is that you have absolutely terrible improved relations. Really, it is bad. And we'll be going for a list. Furthermore, you have, as far as your military goes, you've got some insane buffs here. Sure, we'll go for a royal marriage with them. Why not? We get a husbandry. For modifiers, you get land attrition, which is huge. Manpower recovery speed, I always like seeing. You also get movement speed and shock damage, which combined is insane. Then on top of that, as if it wasn't good enough already, you get shock damage received and morale damage, plus 10%. Which, all these good bonuses come with very little trade-off. Yearly Navy tradition decay, who cares? Fort defense, 10%, that's a drop in the bucket. Ship durability, we don't make boats here. And finally, fire damage received, which that will hurt you in the late game. What also hurts you in the late game is that your pips fall off hard. There is not very much going for you in the late game, so you ideally want to win by Tech 15. But the trade-off for that is that you get a lot of good things early on. Also for starting moves, what I like to do is I like to summon the diet, sail the titles, whatever, I don't care what you do. I would suggest building a higher than normal amount of cavalry, I think. Mostly because you want to conserve your manpower and to take advantage of the fact that you have one shock at the beginning of the game. Now, there's even more that makes Knolls better. You get the ability to raid coasts. This nation's nuts. It just is. And with that, with our raising of the army and analyzing our strategic situation, the packs of Sad Sur are a disorderly and riotous lot, who not so long ago were fierce in their independence. Only the will of Tluukt, the demonic queen, binds these mountain tribes together into one great pact, but every day threatens the possibility of a tribe valuing its independence over its loyalty to the pack mistress. Queen pack mistress? Take your pick. These murderous urges are to be celebrated, however. Only the fiercest are fit for Tluukt, and so we must rile the packs into one murderous force to spill out of Sad Sur and across the realms of Elf and Mon. And with that, I've already made my first misplay of the game. I would recommend stabbing up before you click that mission. But, happy little accidents, we now have access to some more admin power. We'll go ahead and revoke, just because we can. And we should be able to get our alliance with Harpyland right now. Okay. And then we're immediately going to get to work on a spy network on Alisna. So, with the ferocity of our pack riled against our foes, especially these dire hyenas we have in our armies. Actually, let me read the description for these dire hyenas. I got a good laugh out of it. Dire hyenas are the larger biological cousin of the gnoll, with an average weight of 900 pounds and a length of 12 feet. These beasts were a dangerous sight to encounter in the Salaha. In ancient times, gnolls successfully tamed these large creatures to serve as den guardians and even war mounts. Just imagine that, a little gnoll, little hyena boy, riding a giant hyena into war. And those who accomplished the deed were honored by their pack chieftains, for dire hyenas could easily maul any prey that the tamers desired. Pretty metal. Yet enemies abound on every side, elf and man alike arranged against the glory of our future reign, and our past right to rule. They call us monster, but they do not really know what we are capable. Yes, they do not know the meaning of the word monster just yet. Even so, we must find for the time being kinship amongst our fellow monsters of Bulwar. Though Zaka's pack is a powerful ally, it would be prudent to stack the odds in our favor, come any unforeseen developments. And so we must look to others as well. With that, we get access to an extra diplomat, which I am going to immediately put with Marblehead. While we have the... No, don't insult them, please no. While we have the luxury of having a really good military, we have the downside of not having the most manpower in the beginning. What you can do is you can make your queen a mage commander. I would not recommend that, though, because she starts off at age 53, and she will most likely die within the first 5 years of you doing so. I'd recommend only raise her as a general when you absolutely need her for a battle. And with that, the one of the branching missions is about to happen. So, Zaka has declared his usual war against Jadar. And honestly... Oh, thanks for the 10 Diplo points, Zaka. Honestly, I hope Jadari wins. Mostly because I think that would be poetic for us to go up against. The actual reason is that elves are really easy to break in their manpower. They are very weak against gnolls in the beginning. And we will take the extra admin, because we are going to be at a points deficit quite a bit. What we are going to take, though, is some production and some morale. That's just useful, and we have the economy to do so at the beginning. Furthermore, right. So the... yes, okay, rats. I said I wanted Jadari to win. I got what I wanted. The news reached us with the first refugees. The great Zaka has fallen, slain by some elf. Panicked and disorganized, his pack has scattered and abandoned their homes in search of a new leader. Now many of them, first individuals, then whole war bands, have started crossing the border to look for Tluukt's leadership in the hope that she might help them reclaim their lost land. We get a massive 20%, 25% manpower recovery speed, some extra force limit, some maintenance. You don't get anything if Zaka wins the war. Your compensation that it might be kind of difficult to fight Jadari. We will click this mission when we are ready to do so. It really isn't advantageous for us to do so right now. That Gnollish is the only other... Well, there's a couple other gnolls. We don't care about them, though. Place your bets this episode on when the hill gnolls will be dying. I know I said I'd go for them, but Wow, they're building a castle in the mountains. I know I said I'd play them. I just didn't tell you which hill Knolls I would be playing. Okay, and with that, it looks like we are at 40 spy network with Elisna, which gives us a very interesting mission. And part of the reason why I would suggest not going to war immediately, even though you do have the ability to go to war with Seriand. And, oh, it looks like we will be going to war with Seriand. Okay, let's get our troops on that border. I'd like to crush him first. That's going to be a complete pain. Okay. As the mission tree dictates, all across Bulwar, our distinguished kind are decried as savage slavers, demonic conquerors, hell-bent. I see what you did there. Very funny, Mr. Development Man. Hell-bent on destroying everything right and proper. Even if some of these accusations are accurate, they're all accurate. It makes the matter of establishing our rule a violent and protracted affair, yet hidden amongst the rocky crags of Drolles. There are communes of Bulwari who have grown acclimated to the wisdom of Gnollish order. Pirate havens, ruled by matriarchs, who regularly have dealings with Gnollish raiders. These nearly Gnollish souls chafe under the boorish subjugation of elf kings, aloof rulers who frown upon their piratical ways. Under our protection, however, they would be free to raid the Sea of Glass to their heart's content. Their Gnollish heart's content. Provided we receive our due share, of course. And with that, the very first war begins. Our messenger to Drolakand returns with positive news. The Maras Araha I has accepted the terms of our offer and is moving into action as we speak. The governors of Elisna will be helpless in suppressing the Drollas insurrection. By the time the sun sets, all of Drolakand will be under Drolakand's control. Ordinarily, Elisna would be capable of crushing rebellions like this with ease, and that's where we come in. Elisna certainly won't be expecting Drolakand and Tluukt to be fighting side by claw. And with that, we make him a tributary, and we are up against the holy heckload of elvish states. Ah, yes, this is not great. Okay, does everybody remember when I said don't make your ruler a general until you very well have to? There's the part. One thing to note with her is that she always starts with evocation and legendary, and then these three. For that, what we are going to do is, one, we're going to put a ward on her capital of Grixkir. Never mind. Sorry. We don't have the ability to do so. The reason I really like evocation at legendary is because it gives us access to war magic number 3, giving us, among other things, 10% morale of armies, 30% shock damage. Insane. Oh, hey, and I can make my consort a general. Sure, why not? Okay, we're going to drop down to speed 3, because this war is kind of annoying. And our whole strategy here is to get Seriand out of the war. And hopefully we can accomplish that in a reasonable amount of time. If my desk was made out of wood, I would go ahead and knock on it right now. But it's made out of not wood. And so they've taken the bait. We're going to go ahead and see if we can get an early stack wipe. Yes, we did. This is the power of the Gnollish military. Take stack wipes as often and as early as you have the ability to do so. Don't settle for piddly. Don't take big fights. Just try to get stack wipes. Okay. And it looks like you have these... You have somebody as a vassal. Those two, I think. With that, though, we can take these guys off just so they don't suffer too much attrition. And maybe we'll have to go back. We will take very close attention to this Sariander army. Okay. One other thing I'm going to do is put on the defensive edict in my capital. Maybe now I can put abjuration in my capital of Rixkir. No. Too difficult, it seems. We could also charm the military. Sure, gives us a little bit extra morale of armies. And we can also do this if we want, but I think I'd like to keep my admin for the time being. Okay, and please, AI, do not... Just let me take that right there. Uh-oh. Ruh-roh, Raggy. With a 6 and a 9, we rolled just well enough. As I said, the power of the Knolls. They are absolutely insane sometimes. And that's the reason why you get movement speed. Okay. Before I make another silly mistake like that, we are gonna stack wipe these guys if we can. Even though we take up Malice when we attack with too much cav, you can see we're still stack wiping. Okay. And of course, because it's a monstrous conquest, yes, there's Sariand. Ooh, only... How many days was that? That's crazy. And we can already get Sariand out of the war. That's a godsend. A demon send, you could say. From them, mostly all I'm going to want is a lot of things. Let's see if we can push our luck just a little bit. Or wait for them to lock, and then we'll go into that area. What we're going to try to do... Oh. Even when you take unfavorable battles, you still win. This is the Gnoll way. Please don't take my 42%. Don't you dare. Don't you do it. Don't you do it, game. Yes. Okay, and we're going to defend in the mountains. As one should. And you can see exactly how that works. It works beautifully. Okay, from Sariand, what we're going to take is quite a bit. But first, we have to make sure we don't get completely gibbed. So, by removing Sariand, we will get rid of these 3 folk. And you know what? I think I'm just going to take it straight as. I'll take a little bit of money so I can hire a mercenary company. But other than that, I don't want to take the risk of overextending myself. And furthermore, what we're going to do is hire a reinforced speed guy. Some people will tell you to go all morale all the time, but as you can see here, we've got plenty of troops, but we're just not reinforcing our troops fast enough to be able to make a difference. So, we've now made the war vastly more easier to fight, in that now we're only outnumbered 4-1 instead of 6-1. And with that, what we're going to do to try and fix this strategy is, one, see if we can get Bulwar happy. And two, we're going to go after Varimhar. Because I believe Varimhar has 2 little derps underneath him. Yes, he does. Okay. Plus he only has a level 1 fort, which is quite simple for us to be able to solve. That's not a big difficulty. Okay, and there goes his army. The other reason we're going for him is because I don't want to deal with his mage ruler. And with that, that's yet another stack wipe. Okay, and perhaps from him we'll be able to get some concessions. Okay. And right, he is already low. We're on his capital. Let's just get some more score by taking his land. Or by sitting on it, I should say. And with that, we should have the ability to get him out. Just a little bit of money we'll take. We don't need a ton. Keep going. And looks like they're sieging our capital. But we can put on some defensiveness. Okay. And how is this? Nope. Why not? So you have too many diplomatic relations. Of course you do. Okay. Out of curiosity, who do you have as vassals? Kumarkand and Akaleses. Kumarkand, I wouldn't mind picking up as a vassal itself. Could just make Tluukt a vassal. That's not a great idea. Even though everybody hates me, I'd rather not have to deal with it. Okay, since we are winning our war over here, I say we do the... We try to get... Kumarkand. Let's see what it costs to bring them into the fold. I don't really want to give Harpulin the chance to become a great power. And we're giving them that chance by knocking out these guys early. Then finally we'll take a little round trip to go into the Sardensays. Perhaps sacrificing some humans along the way. Nice, we even got a wall breach this early. As I said, that fort defense is coming in clutch. It is helping quite a bit. Hopefully Drollacan can hold out long enough for us to take out Varimhar. Nice. The sack of Trasbaranen, that's Varamhar's capital, is proceeding apace, with Knolls slaughtering the scattered defenders as they push deeper into the city. Our victory is not yet complete, however, as is proved when a blast of lightning disintegrates a squad of pillaging Knolls. However, in the distance, its originator, King Karadir I, King of Varimhar, stands, charging a second blast. Before he can do any further harm to our Pax warriors, Tluukt, our queen, quickly moves in to intercept the bolt, absorbing its impact with her arcane wards. This is not the first time Tluukt has grappled with an elven mage in magical combat. Our Pax subjugation of Bulwar in 1439 was won only after our crushing victory over Karadir I, the suzerain of those lands at the time. Yet as Tluukt riposts with her own surge of scouring flame, it is clear that after this second duel, there will be no means be a third. Oh, jeez. I did not know. Ah, yes. And here we see the first of many new systems that came with the patch. spell duels. From what it looks like, I didn't even know this was here. Looks like Cardir has few hit points. Tluukt has many, but not very much mana. As I would say in any MMO, start with the big damage first. Let's go with an Ice Storm. And with that, Cardir, he didn't do anything, it doesn't seem. So we are going to hit him with a thing. And I'm going to cast... Ugh. Oh, I got hit with a spell. Okay, that hurt. And I think I'm going to try to cast Power Word Heal. Ooh. Yeah, okay. Maybe it's a bad idea to have attacked him. Okay, we hit him with our spell. I reckon we've got 2 hits left before we're flat out dead. He's got 2 casts, probably, left before we're flat out dead. We're going to try to hit him with... yeah, another fireball, I reckon. And it looks like he casted a shield, a mana shield of some sort. We're just going to keep pummeling him with fireballs. And we hit his shield. More fireballs. Please, please stop. It looks like we hit. Or we missed. And we managed to break his shield. Okay. We're just gonna... we managed to hit him directly now. He's all out of mana. We're just gonna fireball him. And please, kill Cardir the first. Whew! That was my first Magic battle ever. I'm gonna have to study more of that system. That was really cool. We get Demonic Power, War Exhaustion, and Manpower Recovery Speed. Wow. That was stressful. Not gonna lie. Oh, and we even managed to kill their leader. Thank goodness. Don't lie. Everybody thought I was going to lose there for a second. There was definitely... I thought I was going to lose there for a second. Oh, that was... Maybe I'm not as good in MMOs as I thought. And it looks like we could get Harkloom as a vassal easily here. Out of curiosity... we could just, Kumarkand, we could get as a vassal very easily. And while we would have a huge amount of aggressive expansion from that, it looks like only Harkloom would join in. I'm not sure if it's a great idea to... how much would it cost to separate pieces? Not that much, to be honest. We will probably re-release him after the fact. Or I could just take money and run. No, I don't. 105 buckets of ducats is not worth much right now. Although... you know what? No, I said we were going to kill the entire world. We are going to do just that. Gnoll Pete is not a liar. He is a magic duelist, apparently. And with that, how much aggressive expansion did we manage to accrue? A decent amount. A decent amount. Okay, and Drollacan pieced out. That is slightly awkward because we need to take land over there. Yeah, slightly awkward. In the meantime, though, what we can do is finish up a very good monstrous war. I think I'd much rather have taken this land than anything else. We can also raise it. I forgot to say my favorite part about Knolls. They finally fixed their most stupid decision with them. It used to be that Knolls got raising gain in their religion, right? Except the catch was not a single Gnollish nation had the ability to raise. And it was a huge oversight for, like, quite a few years in the Anbennar. It was kind of a meme. But these days they've actually realized that, in fact, if you give raising power gain as a religious bonus, you should probably give the nations with that religion the ability to raise. If you want to know how to make infinite points in Anbennar, aside from becoming a necromancer, that is, then I would suggest playing as a centaur and then converting to the Zaz. I said that wrong. The Haz cult. That's how you pronounce that, by the way. It's a soft X, not a hard X, if that makes any sense. Okay, with that, we can probably go up to speed 4 here. I don't really see a reason not to. And I think we just want a short truce with these guys so we can take on these provinces. Otherwise, I could just save edit it. Who knows? That's the only thing I don't like about this nation so far, is that there's some problems with its missions. There's some very clear oversights that happened. This being one of them. You essentially, in your first war, have to take these provinces for Drollacan. Otherwise, you're kind of screwed. You can't really progress the missions that fast. But in the grand scheme of things, that's not a huge problem. That is very easily fixed with a patch. Who knows when that will come out, though. Okay, and it looks like Basartan says, ooh, we can even improve with farm power. Sure. This is going to be huge for us, because we're going to get access to the coast, which will allow us to raid. Conveniently, the enemy is going to attack in a -3 penalty into the marsh. Smart. And of course, what we're going to do throughout all of this is try to gain as much money as we can. And you know what? I think I will raise. Why not? Just a teensy-weensy bit. Give myself some extra power points. Okay, so from them, I think some money will do us very nicely. And I believe I'd just like to keep the truce relatively short. I'll take these 5 provinces, mainly because Saladhad Gate is a really good place to put a fort. It basically blocks off this entire area, forcing you to attack into it. And yeah, out of curiosity, just so I know, that would only extend the truce by a year, so I guess we'll take war reps. That's really not a big deal. And we will... Yeah, I don't see anything requiring what's-his-face to be my subject. And it looks like Kedarata has joined in on the conflict. What we are going to do, though, is take one eensy-weensy little bit of province here and make a human subject, probably. Maybe. Yeah, why not? It will make the next war go super easy because we can do reconquests, we can do all of this fun stuff. And with that, one thing I do want to do, though, is end their alliance with Seriand, or maybe Besartses. It's difficult for me to beat Besartses, whereas Seriand is mostly flatland, so for that reason, I think we'll get rid of Besartses. And with that, we are out. That is the first war dealt with. And we can even release Shashura for our troubles, who surprisingly is loyal. Imagine that. That's crazy. But with that, we get raided as soon as we do. One thing I will remember to do, though, is raise these provinces before I do anything with them. And finally, I will start to court. And I'll decide whether I want to release these guys between episodes. But, as always, thank you for watching. This is an excellent start to a campaign if I've seen one. Nix the weirdness with Drollocant. And as always, stay tuned for more Tluukt.